Dr. Allie Good, the strings teacher at Fairfield. And I'm so excited that you're here with us today. I want to tell you a little bit about the strings program at Fairfield. So we have some amazing things going on. We offer for the 2021-22 school year, you can join, sixth graders can join beginning strings. Seventh graders can join intermediate strings, and our eighth graders have an opportunity to take beginning guitar. It is actually called Exploring Music 8, but it's really going to be learning a lot about guitar and also some informal music making techniques in general. And so I'm really excited about these offerings. So I want to tell you a little bit more about them. So those are the classes that we have available. Just in general, all the classes, you're going to learn how to read music. If it's beginning sixth grade, or if it's the eighth grade guitar class, you don't have to already know anything about music or how to read music. That's my job. I teach it. Okay. So you learn how to read, you learn how to play the instrument. You're going to be learning to play different styles of music. Okay. So we will learn some classical music. We'll also learn some more popular music. Like, it's really quite a mixture. I try to hit everything to make sure it's something that interests you. We also will be working on composing music, which is writing music. We're going to work on music recording and recording technology as well. So lots of opportunities. We want you to be creative and not just learn to, play dots on a page, but really see if this is an outlet for your creativity. We also learn about the cultures of the music that we're playing. So learning that background is an important part of music. Music is culture. And so we really embrace that. In non-pandemic times, usually we take a ton of field trips. So just know that is something that's an opportunity once it is safe. So as soon as we can, usually we do a spring field trip to King's Dominion or Busch Gardens, and we play for a contest and then enjoy the park. I also love to do trips to see the Richmond Symphony and trips to a luthier to see how instruments are made and the history behind them. So as many things that I can do that it's hands-on, we'll do it. Okay. Because I love a field trip as much as the kids do. Also, music is a great way to make friends, not just in that class for that year, but especially if you join beginning strings, you'll be with those students potentially all the way through middle school and even into high school and beyond. So it's really a great place where you're going to make friends and keep those friends for a long period of time, which is really a fantastic opportunity. Also, there's been some false claims that music makes you smarter. That's not true. But I will say smart people choose music, and that peer pressure of your friends tending to be high achievers, usually music students do get better grades and have better academics overall. Also, they're spending their free time choosing to pursue something of interest to them versus watching video games and TV and chilling out. Not to say you can't do that, but that amount of stimulus will make you a better student overall. And then also there's always the opportunity for scholarships. Okay. So colleges and different opportunities. There's so many opportunities as a musician, but you have to be a good musician, which means starting early and being dedicated and even sticking through the rough spots when you don't feel like you're getting better as fast. Those are plateaus, and we just have to push a little harder and get over that plateau, and you're going to start seeing that growth again really fast. All right. So and then also all these are performance-based classes. So performance is part of the grade of the class, and those performances do happen outside of school time. I give you lots of warning and tell you it's coming up, but I do want parents to understand that you do have some out of school time commitment. And yes, it could affect their grade if they're not there. So just making sure you're aware of that as best you can. Now, let's talk about the instruments. So the one that you just heard me play, this is the violin. This is the baby. Okay. It's just a little bit smaller. It's also the most popular. So lots of people play the violin. You don't have to know what instrument you want to play before signing up for strings, but I do want you to know what's available. Okay. We'll do a whole exploration of instruments when you join. So this is the violin. And then we have its big brother, the viola. Back up a little bit. So the viola is just a little bit bigger. and a little bit deeper and has more mellow sound. Okay, it's a little bit more chill. Okay, and then we have the cello. You had me at cello, which you sit down to play. So, and it kind of rests between your knees. And then we have, okay, I'm running out of space here, the bass, which is huge. And don't worry, no middle schooler, at least sixth grader, usually, they come in smaller versions. But so the bass sits on the floor and is very tall and it sits up above you. But you'll see bass in lots of different applications and it's a lot of fun to play. It's also the same basic instrument as the bass guitar. So if you are interested in bass guitar, learn the upright bass. This is what you're primarily playing in class. And when it's appropriate for the music by intermediate, I'll have you play bass guitar some, okay? But we also want to learn how to use the bow. And then obviously the guitar is the guitar. So if you're interested in joining that 8th grade exploratory music class, okay, I can't get it down right now. I'm just going to hold it. You're going to learn guitar. It will be classical style or flamenco style where you're plucking individual notes until towards the end of the year. We'll do some chords, but don't expect to play chords all the time. We're also going to be playing acoustic guitar. That means not plugged in because a bunch of you on electric would make me go deaf. So in class, we're going to play that. Now I'm working on getting donations and things like that. I'm working on getting a class set of guitars that will stay in the room. Okay. And so you'll be responsible for it in class. My hope is that you might be able to get a guitar to practice on at home. Okay. If not, we'll work out certain times when you can take it home, but I don't want these going home all the time. They get pretty beaten up otherwise, and they're going to be brand new. So if you have access to a guitar, it's very helpful, but just for at home, at school, you'll have an instrument provided. Now, as far as, so the bass, kind of pricey. Okay. So parents are probably like, oh, don't do that. Okay. If you play the bass, I expect bass and cello for the school to provide an instrument. If you're able to rent one, that's fantastic. You're going to get a better quality instrument than what I have, but that is available. For the violin and viola are not very expensive to rent or even to buy, honestly. And so the expectation is to get your own. If you really cannot afford it, I have some school instruments, but not very many at all. Okay. So other costs that you can expect by being in strings would be the book. There's just a little music book, the same thing in band. They're about $10. We generally finish one a year, okay? And then there is a uniform. I'm not even going to go too much into detail because until the pandemic is over, it was really not safe for us to perform. So obviously you won't need a uniform until we're actually doing performances. But that is a cost that will be coming up. Speaking of COVID, so because these are string instruments, you can wear a mask the whole time you're playing them. You really aren't doing anything that is considered COVID threatening. We're going to be socially distanced. Usually we would share rosin, have one class rosin. We're not going to do that until things are safer. But other than that, we're not sharing instruments as well, which means even more limited on the school instrument inventory. But it's generally pretty safe. You are expected to practice if you're in strings. I start off with beginners practicing 10 minutes a week outside of class, a couple times a week, and then it goes up to eventually 15. Intermediate and advanced would be expected to practice 20 minutes at a time, a couple times outside of school. So I can keep it reasonable. I know that there's a lot of academic work. And so hopefully this is just something that you get into a habit of just doing some, but you do need to practice some outside. You're not going to be successful if the only time you play is in class. Okay. So I really hope that you decide to join strings. We have a great time, even virtually. We're really doing some great things and having fun and getting to know our students. And so we look forward to having you in strings. Thanks a lot.